Touching on some of the notable honourable mentions as well in this big fucking cascade. Wesker is still bugged, which is actually a game-breaking bug. But anyway, look on the bright side, fellas. 5 million BPs are coming your way when they actually finally get around to fixing that. Or a badge, maybe even a badge. You know, get Wesker's face slapped onto a badge. Ooh, that's going to make us all happy, innit? Another day, another Dead by Daylight blunder, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to report on the old 2v8 situation that's been going on, because there's a couple of little branching topics here I do want to touch on. It's another one of those videos, fellas, for those who enjoy it, so buckle up. If you are a new viewer, though, based on what I've just said, all you need to know is I am basically very unfiltered. I speak my mind, basically, and it's something that I do push for and strive for and want other people to do. In this day and age, considering how fucking shit the ASYM genre is getting, with the current tumour that is sat at the top of it, and you're now seeing in real time everything that I warned you all about back in the day, you know, or not back in the day, like literally a couple of months back. You know, obviously I didn't have the spike then, it didn't. They didn't give me the outreach and all that kind of shit, but it is what it is. It's now happening. So we're gonna go into the whole 2v8 situation, what's been going on, what exists now, basically, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm just going to talk about it. We're going to ramble. It's going to go into a bit of a divergent topics here and there because I don't write scripts either. There's going to be no DVD gameplay in this video either, fellas. I'm literally just going to plug Identity 5 to you straight into your faces because this game is genuinely fucking better. You need to look past the graphics in this particular instance and how it's actually presented. Because let me just tell you, boys, based on all the stuff that's going on at the moment surrounding behaviour and obviously the state that DVD's in and all this kind of shit, Identity 5 has been just across the board a better playtime for me, personally, right? But for the purposes of this video, again, just because people like to hear me rant, and obviously I like to do this because I like to try and push my points across and try to enlighten you all, no matter what side of the player base you're on, no matter what type of player you are, that you could be getting far better games than you are right now, and this developer that is sat at the top of the asymmetrical 4v1 genre has basically implanted a fucking tumour and has now got very complacent, and this is the exact situation you are now witnessing, right? You can run from it, you can hide from it, but it's all the same, basically, you know? So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to kick it off with the whole 2v8's reason that I'm making this video. The new 2v8's come out. It's out again, unfortunately, because again, there's been yet another fucking failure, and people just seem to have completely convinced themselves that behaviour aren't to be faulted with this, and that, you know, oh, it's just another mistake made by this wholesome dev, you know, all this kind of shit, while they're actually just taking the piss out of you constantly, which is why they're now feeding you badges for bugs that can be patched whenever we just play the fucking game, because you would see that shit when it was on the offering screen, but apparently that's funny and it's a meme, so, yeah, that's the standards of gamers in this genre as well, apparently, which is something that needs to be fucking studied, as far as I'm concerned. But it is what it is at the end of the day. When 2v8 does get added to the game, you basically, if you want to play killer, you're soft locked into fucking Swift Esports, because basically your queues will be, a lot of the solo survivors will probably gravitate towards 2v8, because it's a bit more fun to play from the survivor perspective in solo queue. Because obviously you're not, you know, there's a little bit of less burden involved in 2v8. You just do your generators, and obviously there's the maps are massive. There's 2 killers in the map, all that kind of shit. So it's a little bit of an easier experience. So what you're basically left with whenever you want to queue as killer is 4-man sweat squads, basically, a high degree of them anyway. It's not all of them, but more often than not. And on top of that, you're also waiting about 5 or 10 minutes for a fucking game. Especially these days with all the advent of all the stupid fucking hand-holding mechanics they're adding to the game, and survivors can do no wrong, so no matter what mistakes they make, they just get fucking carried through it. And this is obviously designed with new players in mind, or just bad players. But what it doesn't consider is how fucking stupid it gets when it's in a Swift and people that are using external software for an unfair advantage, which back in my day, ladies and gentlemen, was actually the definition of cheating. And this is exactly the sort of thing I keep going on about, fellas. They don't fucking know what they are doing. They are wasted at the fucking top of this genre. right? Have a look at the mobile game that is currently on your screen, fellas, right? 0 bugs. I have literally encountered 0 fucking bugs in this game. 0. Literally fucking 0 since I've started playing it. It's fluid. It's fun. The only thing it is low poly. That's it. And, you know, there is, for me personally, there's a very big desire for me. Obviously, this is something that can't happen, which is why I'm bringing it up, but it would be fucking amazing if it did actually happen, is if they actually did, the devs of this game actually built a dedicated PC version of this game. They upgraded the graphics from the mobile version. And I think if they actually did that, I think we would legit have a DVD competitor, mate. Tangent. The reason the video exists, fellas, is because now that 2v8 is here, there was basically a crash. The servers went down as soon as 2v8 went live. I think actually people got 1 or 2 games in before the servers basically just tanked and shut down. I think it was about 3.5 hours they were down for. The servers went down when 2v8 got added. So yeah, there you go. I guess we're going to get a badge for that. They have since mentioned they are doing compensation. You get 5 million blood points for this. Which, yeah, okay, you know, behaviour are going to play the game for you. There you go. Just give you your BP, level up your characters, all that kind of shit, you know. But it's still, this is the thing that I always get at, fellas, whenever something like this comes along, because people, they don't see what's going on. They don't see how you're having the piss took out of you. And this is a perfect example, actually. It's just in a different flavour to the gym badge situation that I mentioned to you. They're just giving you in-game carrots on sticks, basically. Every time they fuck up monumentally, which they shouldn't be doing, because they're at the top of the ASYM genre, yeah? They're just giving you little rewards every time. There you go, little gamer. Thanks for putting up with our laziness. Thanks for putting up with our fucking negligence. We don't even playtest the game enough to see there's a fucking beam on the offering screen. Just have a badge, you know? And then there are actually people in this community, they're actually fucking streamers that turn around and say, oh, that's cute. That's cute. Isn't it cute? Oh. A free pass to just fuck up at your own leisure because we find it funny, you know? And meanwhile, behaviour are taking the piss and laughing at you. Because that's what it is. That's literally what it is, boys. You know? Resident fucking party pooper here. I am sorry, you know, for wanting better games and wanting fucking higher standards in this genre. But seriously, fellas, you need to wake up and understand what's going on. There are a few people who are now, obviously, you know, seeing the light and all that kind of stuff. There's quite a lot of you do turn up to me comments and you are actually siding with me compared to, you know, what it was like at the beginning. Because I had to, when I first did a few of these videos at the very beginning, when obviously I didn't have as much of a spike, I had to fight through the usual fucking vitriolic bullshit of all the people that are just defending the game for having literally lacking the IQ to understand what's actually going on. They just literally hive brain it and just turn up at the comments and go, no, this is fine, it's cute, it's awesome, it's a meme. The community was asking for this. You know, that was something else that was mentioned in the gym situation. They might have been asking for it, but again, that's what I'm talking about. Because you're literally just letting them get away with it whenever shit like this happens. It's fucking idiotic. They're at the top of the genre, fellas. They are what's supposed to be the best game in the asymmetrical genre. Have a look at Identity 5 that'll be on your screen right now, because I'm not playing DBD anymore. Not at the moment, the state it's in anyway, as I say, with the 2v8 queues and the state the game's actually going with all the shit they're adding to it, like, it's just not fucking fun anymore. It's getting really fucking boring to play. Because it's if you want to play killer in the state of modern DBD now, it's basically just a case of having to adhere to a fabricated rulebook geared around Twitch clip farming and entitled fucking babies that shouldn't be anywhere near a PvP game. But, you know, it is what it is at the end of the day. In that regard. Touching on some of the notable honourable mentions as well in this big fucking cascade. Wesker is still bugged. So I don't know how many 2v8s we've had now. I think it's been about 4. I think it's 4. I think this is the 4th one. The 4th 2v8. No, there was the one. No, it's the 5th one, is it? Because then they added Legion Oni. And then it's this one, I think. So I think it's 5. So granted that he's only existed for, well, he's existed for 3 iterations of it now, but Wesker is still bugged. You will still get soft locked if you grab survivors with your power as Wesker, which is actually a game breaking bug. So, you know. But anyway, look on the bright side, fellas. 5 million BPs are coming your way when they actually finally get around to fixing that. Take your guesses on which fucking number of 2v8s will be at when it actually is fixed. But, you know, 5 million BPs coming your way, though. Or a badge, maybe even a badge, you know. Get Wesker's face slapped onto a badge. Ooh, that's going to make us all happy, innit? And then obviously, you know, a bit of more of a minor mention, but again, this is something that relates to quality assurance. I'll give you a picture proof of this. There's fucking syntax errors on the fucking the announcement that it's here. You know, there's literally dashes and fucking italics missing, you know, all that kind of stuff. Literal fucking syntax errors in the stuff they write to announce things to the community. They are not playtesting this game, fellas. They are not fucking playtesting it. Will you please wake up and just raise your standards? It doesn't matter if you don't like the way I sound. It doesn't matter if you don't what fucking side of the fence you're on, if you play Survivor or Killer. Wake up, please. We are at the top of the fucking genre. Evolve existed a year before this did, and it still looks better than this, and it still fucking plays better than this 11 fucking years later. 10 years. Misslipped there. Bit of an outburst, you know. I'm just somebody who wants better games again, fellas. I'm just somebody who wants to be excited while playing games in his favourite fucking genre again. I've had a sliver of that recently with Identity 5. And I'm somebody who's very animation focused, I'm very atmosphere focused, I want to be wowed by character design when I play games, right? So I can actually see past the low quality because Identity 5 is a mobile port, right? But in part of this comes down to the fact that I've been pushed away from Dead by Daylight now because it's just not fun to play. The game these days, I can't sit through a game of Killer on Dead by Daylight without thinking my intelligence has been insulted. Because every single fucking thing I do, there's some kind of pullback mechanic that the survivors have now, which just reverses everything I do. So why the fuck am I playing it? You know? Oh, don't take it seriously. Don't take it seriously. It's a casual game. It's a party game, you know? One side should just have fucking invincibility all the way through it, you know? 80 seconds of you can't touch me off hooks. Reversal of the objective. Oh, I'll take that hook state. Cheers. 6-second revives off the fucking ground with no downside whatsoever. That 30-second window between going down means they can just relocate themselves, pop the unbreakable, boom, they're up for no fucking downside. In a time-based ASYM, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, where you need to be hooking rapidly to keep up with the absolute disparity between the size of the survivor's objective and yours, between 5 generators and 12 hooks. Clueless fucking game design. And then obviously now we come across to Identity 5, which is what you're seeing on the screen. As I said, there's no DVD in this video because I've not been playing it. I'm still clinging to the vain fucking hope, ladies and gentlemen, that maybe at one point they might get their asses in gear and actually understand that they are at the top of the genre. And in the same breath, at the moment, from the consumer standpoint, and this seems to be a sentiment that is shared, I'm not just putting myself on the pedestal here, you're making yourself look fucking stupid as a company. And it's not going to take, you're not going to last forever if you keep doing this shit. They think they are, but they're not. Because there will come a time where all of this that's now happening with the 2v8 situation, the gym situation, the Walking Dead release, all these bugs, all this just fucking slop that is being delivered to your consumers, right? And I'm speaking as though I'm addressing behaviour again and all this kind of shit, because I just do this. People are remembering this. People will remember this. So generally what happens is it lowers the bar slowly, gradually over time, which will give another competitor an easy ride in eventually. If it comes along and it wows and it has good gameplay and all that kind of stuff, people will fucking move. You saw it with Overwatch and Marvel Rivals, that situation. That's literally what happened. Everybody went and saw Marvel Rivals. They thought, fucking hell, this is good. This has got good quality to it and all that kind of stuff. Whilst Overwatch were just doing the bare minimum and being fucking sloppy and not doing anything. Bang, half the fucking player base vanished as soon as Marvel Rivals came out. That's exactly what will happen in this genre. As soon as another developer out there clocks what's going on at the moment. I've already said, and a couple of people have actually said this to me in the comments as well, of their own accord, that if Identity 5 actually got an official PC remake with up-to-date graphics, and obviously it goes beyond the mobile port, low poly kind of graphics kind of things, it would be a genuine DBD competitor. And I do think it would be. I agree with that, genuinely. Because I'm telling you, mate, in the current state of what behaviour looked like and how they're just mismanaging literally everything that they're doing these days, mate, the very second an actual proper competitor comes along, this game is going to fucking fold. I can see it coming. It's really easy to see, mate. Behaviour will fucking fold. Yeah? They're a company with a one-hit wonder. And now you're starting to see why they don't deserve to be where they are. You've got licenses, that's it. Licenses don't make a good game, fellas. You know, we're talking about gameplay here. You know, the divergence as well from horror has also been a thing that's pissed me off personally. But other people, again, as I've said, I've ventured across the internet. I've gathered opinions. I've had a look at what everybody's saying. There are other people as well that are going on about how they don't like the direction the game's going away from the horror side of things, where we're just brightening every map up. We're just adding sparkly fucking cosmetics everywhere, you know, and just literally muddying the identity of the game itself, you know, for the sake of licenses, for the sake of just getting money, you know, for all the Twitch fucking content creators and all that kind of shit. But yeah, it is what it is. As I say, that's the video I was going to make on this, because it's getting on my fucking tits, fellas. It really is. Like, it's just, these days I've basically become this fucking Identity 5 commentary streamer that reports all the shit situations of Dead by Daylight, because I don't have the energy to actually commit to playing Dead by Daylight, despite being a fucking veteran player of that game who was there from 2016. Yeah, and who actually, from 2016 to about 2019, I think it was, late 2019, actually enjoyed the game. I actually did enjoy Dead by Daylight. I enjoyed it quite a lot. But now, no. Fucking U-turned. Because it's getting progressively shitter. They're adding shit that completely breaks the balance of the game for both sides. They're removing the atmosphere of the game, removing its identity, turning it into fucking Fortnite, because, you know, we can make more money by doing that, because there's probably a lot of kids playing the game, all that kind of shit, rather than just, you know, whilst actually bastardizing the game and its identity, and obviously, you know, making a fool of the top of the genre and all that kind of stuff. But it's come to a boiling point for me personally now, where I'm just not playing the game anymore. So I'm still going to do these rant videos because people like to listen to this. Some of you find it cathartic, whatever pleasure you derive from this. But it comes, from me personally, it comes from somebody who wants them to just get the fucking arses in gear and just fucking actually resemble somebody that's at the top of the genre, you know? Evolve is dead. That's what annoys me. Because Evolve was a fucking masterclass in how to do an ASYM. Animations were peak, atmosphere was there, the lore was insane, the fucking hunter characters were all lovable, they were fully voice acted, they had lines for nearly every combat situation. The future of the game was incredibly fucking bright and ambitious, and it was killed by microtransactions and fucking overinflated YouTubers that didn't want to pay for their content, basically. And that showed as well, because the very same people that whined about the microtransactions and Evolve turned their careers into gambling in loot boxes with Call of Duty and all them kind of dime a dozen, every game the same fucking military shooters. So it is what it is at the end of the day. The game died for nothing but a load of fucking subscribers for some fucking washed up cunt. So it is what it is at the end of the day. It's just, I'm really fucking pissed off with the way this genre's gone, mate, and this timeline is absolutely dog shit for ASYMs. It is what it is. We've got an absolute joke and a fucking tumour sat at the top of this genre. And nobody sees it. They literally see, oh, it's like what I said at the beginning. Oh, here we go. Here's 5 million more BP. Oh, that's all right. clapping their hands like fucking seals, you know, while they're just giving it to them. Here's a badge. Here's a charm. We've done charm as well. They give us a little heart as well. Eternal Flame, I think it was called. I don't fucking know. Thanks for putting up with our bullshit. There you go. There's the prize. You should be all right now. No, don't. We've given you something. Don't hate us. There you go. There it is. You know, basic elementary fucking mistakes in game development. Nah, we're the wholesome developer. We know what we're doing. Fuck me. Yeah, as I say, if it was a case of literally just turning this into a PC game, modernising the graphics, moving it away from the mobile kind of thing, I genuinely believe this game would be fucking peak. And, you know, as I say, I said it at the very beginning, mate, I'm putting this game on a pedestal for this video. It's a DBD rant, but you need to have a check of this game, fellas. You need to ignore all the gacha shit that's in the game. I'll touch on that here, because obviously it's relevant. The gacha systems in these games are only cosmetics. You can earn literally every character in this game by playing the game, which is also something that it's got a bit of a bonus on over Dead by Daylight as well, because there isn't licensed killers or licensed survivors in this game. They're all original. There's the Ripper, whose name is Jack. We've got Jack the Ripper in the game and all that kind of stuff. There's little nods. We've got Bloody Mary in the game, you know, all that kind of stuff, but they're done in a way that they aren't licensed. So you can earn every character by playing the game with the in-game currency you farm by playing it, you know. The whole gacha system and rolling things and all that kind of stuff is only skins. It is literally only skins, you know, stuff that doesn't actually affect the gameplay itself. But they do a pretty generous job in this game of feeding you currencies in order to get rolls. I've actually, in the past 2 or 3 days I've been playing this game, I've actually got a decent amount of skins of my own now as well. So if you are somebody who does like the skins in that particular instance, it's not incredibly predatory in a way. But yeah, as I say, I just want to plug this game because, fellas, this game has been, the past week that I've been playing this game now, I've genuinely had, in the past week, I've had more fun playing this game than I have in the past fucking 2 years of playing Dead by Daylight collectively. I genuinely mean that. Just, it's genuinely, like, as I said at the beginning, mate, I knew it was going to get to this fucking stage. I knew it was going to get to this stage, but right at the very beginning, everybody was going on, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, you don't know what's going on, oh, you're out of your depth and all that kind of thing. That was a fucking comical sentence somebody said to me. You're out of your depth. Oh, am I? Oh, well, look where we are now, sport. I've been in this genre fucking years longer than a lot of these fuckers that were telling me I didn't know what I'm talking about. I do know what I'm talking about because I've been through the death of several fucking big games in this genre, you know, and I just want us to get on our fucking feet and actually get a decent ASYM back on the market again at the top of this genre, mate, because right now, Behaviour don't fucking deserve to be where they are. I've said this numerous times, they don't. It don't matter how much they manipulate you into thinking they're fucking awesome and all this kind of shit, they're fucking not, mate, you know, like, they're legit taking the piss. Low quality animations, zero atmosphere, the general bastardization of the game that's happened over the past couple of years where we've just literally decided to U-turn away from horror entirely, you know, by brightening every fucking map up, adding sparkly cosmetics into the game, all this kind of shit, you know. It's gone downhill rapidly as far as I'm concerned, but the problem is now is you've got the new age of gamer that are coming into the game and they don't know what was. So that's the very steep hill that we climb now, because they don't know what we had, which is why I always go on about the videos with Evolve. I always go on about Identity 5 now, by pushing something that is actually engaging and better to play, because people are just way too fucking complicit with slop these days, you know. There is genuine thought and creativity put into the killers in Identity 5, which is what we're seeing on the screen. Just, as I say, fellas, in a very genuine sense, you need to look past the graphics for this game, because it is a mobile port and it is obviously low poly and all that kind of stuff, but when you actually get into the game and you start understanding killers, some of the killers in this game are very complex and they do take quite a bit of learning to get used to, but once you actually find your main and you actually find your place basically in the game itself, whether you want to be survivor, whether you want to be killer, all that kind of stuff, it all comes together. And every survivor in this game aren't just skins. Survivors in this game actually have their own unique abilities as well that they can use, and survivors can actually find their own other characters' abilities as well based on what I've seen. I've had gardeners running around with perfumers' abilities and stuff like that. So even if there's a survivor that you like, you're not necessarily hard locked into only playing another character that isn't that character, but with a stronger effect. You know, to keep going. So you can actually find these items. Obviously, I've not got around to playing Survivor too much yet in this game. I have done 1 or 2 rounds. It's a lot more atmospheric as well in this game. Atmosphere is very heavy, to be honest. Actually, on Survivor, there's a constant like low humming from the survivor's perspective, which is really cool, to be honest. It does set the tone, and obviously the approaching theme of the killer in this game is also a low growl that you'll hear, like a sort of a low drumming as it gets closer. And you can also change your chase themes in this one. Not specific to any killers, you can literally change it. You can change whatever music you want in this game, you know, because it's about hyper customization as well. Something that DBD hasn't done yet, you know. Obviously, you know, changing chase themes is probably not, because they're doing by character identity, which is fine in Dead by Daylight, but yeah, it is what it is at the end of the day. But yeah, so basically, fellas, it's the next one along in the saga of why DBD doesn't deserve to be where it is, and why we have a consistently growing now and heavy fucking tumour sat at the top of this genre. Don't complain about it. Nah. I legit had people saying on the comments of the video when I did the video about Jim that the Jim situation was fine and I'm overreacting because all the devs can't make jokes, you know, all the player base can't have a laugh, you know, all this kind of shit. And this is what it leads into. This is what I'm talking about when I say you're all sheep in a field. And I'm not saying it out of malice. Because as soon as somebody says something in DBD's community, or as soon as a small group of people form around this idea of it being funny, in terms of Jim's case, everybody magnetizes to that one narrative. Oh, it's funny. Oh, it's funny. Laugh at it, or we target you. You know? It's a very unhealthy place to have, mate. It's a very fucking toxic player base as well. And not just for the reason of the fucking shrimp dick fucking shit that goes on in the endgame chats with the easy bollocks and all that kind of stuff. There are multiple layers of toxicity. There's toxic positivity, and the toxic positivity, ladies and gentlemen, is the very fucking reason that game is in the current state that it is. Because for the past 7 years now, we've done nothing but praise behaviour. We've not fucking critiqued them at any point whatsoever. And now, ladies and gentlemen, they think they can fucking get away with anything. So what's the compensation going to be for this 3-hour outage? You know, as soon as 2v8 gets, I'm going to add a charm into the game. We're going to add a badge into the game again. Oh, there you go, little player base. Eat up, peasants. Because that's what Jim was. It was a fucking piss take. Fucking swear, dude. Like, people seriously need to fucking wake up. Like, you legit willingly having the piss took out of you, fellas. And I'm trying to show you what it looks like, you know? For a developer to make a badge and everybody's alright with it about a bug that literally could have been patched out of the game by playing a single fucking round of their product, yeah? No, it's not okay. It's not funny. They are at the top of the ASYM genre. Oh, it's a little mistake. Oh, no, they made a joke. Boo-hoo, you know? Oh, no. Me with me low standards, you know? Oh, just willfully accepting slop. No. This person who wants better and is striving for better, he's in the wrong. Nah, could never be me. Could never be me being just bending over backwards for behaviour, you know? No. My big streamer says this is all fine, so I'm going to mindlessly accept their opinion, you know? I'm not going to put any kind of logical thought into it as to what this other person's saying, because they've got less subscribers than my favourite streamer. I'm just going to be completely complicit with having slop served to me with every release, license whoring the entire game to the point where it's basically just fucking Fortnite, and yeah, being completely complicit with bugs as well. Oh, it's just the behaviour way. That's just what behaviour does, you know? It's going on for a while, this. I know it is this sarcasm, fellas, but I'm trying to hammer it in because this is legit shit that I'm seeing. I'm legit seeing this, honestly, on Reddit, outside of satire as well. There are people legitimately on the Reddits, on the Steam forums, going on about how this is just behaviour. You know, it's just behaviour. I'm sure they'll fix it in time. What the fuck is going through your head? Like, seriously. When do you think all these fixes are going to come? When all you do is praise a developer for mistakes. And they can get away with it by just shipping a fucking badge out to you. That you're letting them get away with, you know? Fucking insane. Absolutely fucking insane. And people go on about how, you know, I'm supposedly the bad one for speaking about this and all the biggest fucking villain of DBD, you know, because he's got standards and he strives for better, you know, because I want better games for everybody. I want to basically, I don't know what the word is here, but I want to take you all back to 2015 when games were actually fucking higher quality in this genre, when we had Evolve, which was actually a masterclass in ASYMs. Just because it had a rocky microtransaction-filled launch didn't mean it was a bad game. And the absolute cliff that quality fell off between Evolve's death and now DBD, mate, it's a longer fall than fucking Everest, mate. Honestly. Genuinely. And now, in the current day and age, fellas, you're all seeing it. Crashes everywhere. Bugs that can be fixed by literally playing the game. Fucking hell. No. Behaviour could never be wrong. No. I've got to keep my Twitch career going, so all I've got to do is just sit here with Behaviour's cock in my mouth, just filleting as they go through it. Oh, the bugs are fine. They'll fix the bugs. You know, all this kind of shit. And it's like, they fucking won't, mate. They won't. They're literally taking the piss out of you live on air, mate. You know? Pretty good job so far, eh? Fucking insanity. So anyway, that video is brought to you by today's sponsor, ladies and gentlemen, the 3-hour-long 2v8 crashes that have now infested the servers. So God knows what those crashes will cause as well, because it usually has a knock-on effect on other parts of the game and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, over here, though, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just enjoying myself on Identity 5 at the moment. Pretty much bugless. Very fluid game. Killers are actually the power role in this game as well. There are certain situations where ciphers will fly, but it don't feel like shit in this game either, because they don't have the ability to fucking teabag and just literally run you around places and then get arbitrary iframe mechanics, because we only favour one side of the player base in DBD, because that's the side that's bringing in our exposure via Twitch clip content, you know? Which is basically what the game's turned into and why it's currently dying. That's why survivors in your games, if you're playing killer, can res themselves off the floor within 6 seconds with zero downside whatsoever. So, you know, it is what it is. 30 seconds, going down 30 seconds later isn't a downside either, because unless you're running Deerstalker, mate, good luck fucking finding them. And they can also res themselves with Unbreakable as well after that. So, nah, no fucking downside. But there it is, fellas. As I say, we're not going into the old fucking DBD balance now. It's just it's a dead horse. That's the corpse of this horse is basically just now a pile of fucking flesh on the floor, because I've beaten it so fucking hard that there's now left of it. You know, because I tried to fucking warn everybody, but everybody just doesn't fucking listen. They don't listen to what's actually going on. They refuse to open their eyes, and a big part of it, obviously, is because of probably my delivery. I'm quite vulgar, obviously, because I'm British. But it is what it is, fellas. This is exactly what's going on. I've been in this genre for over 10 fucking years. I know what's going on. I know when I see a shit situation with the game. It all started with the balance side of things for me, when I started saying that adding all these second chances and all that kind of shit to survival would breed entitlement. Now look what's going on. Every survivor that doesn't go against the favourite killer, DC. Every survivor that doesn't get the second chance shoehorned bullshit mechanic off, DC. Every survivor that is even looked in the vague direction of as soon as they've been unhooked, DC. You know? But everybody likes to say it's the killers in this game that, you know, are toxic and DC and all that kind of shit. Fucking isn't, mate. No. Just because the majority say it's the killers doesn't mean it's actually the killers. That's because the majority of the people that are saying this are the people that fucking give up instantly in a lot of matches, you know? I'm getting people, whenever I play DBD these days, I'm getting people, if I'm not playing Trapper or any kind of low-tier killer, I'll get somebody who just literally goes on hook first time and then starts running around the map, dropping every fucking pallet, sabotaging the game for the rest of the team as well. Because that, ladies and gentlemen, is what entitlement looks like. Give a crying child everything it ever wants, and it'll continue to cry. It's the same thing as parenting. It is literally the same thing as parenting when you've got a player base. But, you know, nobody fucking listens. So there it is. We've got crashes in 2v8, fellas. I thought I'd do another rant video because we've not done one for a couple of days. I've been enjoying myself with other things, you know. But, you know, there it is at the end of the day. It's everything I talked about. It is literally every single fucking thing I talked about. And again, ladies and gentlemen, it's not narcissism. It is not me trying to put myself on a fucking pedestal. It is me trying to wake everybody up every fucking time. It's like putting a nail to a skull and trying to fucking smash the cunt in, because nobody will listen. Nobody will see this. You know, oh, pretty good job so far. Oh, I'll let them get away with it again. You know, is the next event, the 2v8 event, implemented crashes? It's just the behaviour way. Fucking Evolve died for this, boys. It's genuinely just, it's insulting and it's fucking disgusting at the same time, mate. I'm actually, well, I mean, it's weird to say that behaviour kind of worked on Identity 5 as well. I don't know how much involvement they have with it. I was going to say, like, if we lived in a timeline where if the devs of this Identity 5, this game that you're seeing, are watching the situation unfold now, you know, from the shadows, if they were actually thinking of making a PC version of this game, like a remake, an actual full remake, animations, bells and whistles, literally everything, I think I'd say at the very least we would have genuine DVD competition. Honestly, I genuinely think we would. If it was given a full official, or even this game, put it on Steam, see how well it goes. You know, obviously I don't know what the developers of this game think of that, and you know what's actually going on, because I think it is an Eastern dev who make this game, so I don't know what their relation with the whole DVD situation is and all that kind of stuff. But I know Behaviour lend their hands to this, which is funny considering they've actually got creative killer designs in this, but I doubt any of them come from fucking Behaviour. But it is what it is, mate. At the end of the day, it's another fucking situation again. Another fucking situation. And it's the reason why I always go on whenever DVD appears on this channel, mate, about how fucking shit the game is. Because it is. It's fucking shit, boys. You know. It goes beyond whether, obviously, you're listening to this and it is your favourite game. I'm not saying that... I'm saying the game's shit, obviously. But it's not in a malicious way towards you. You know. Like some people say it when they say, "Oh, that game's shit. Fuck all of them." You know, that playing it. It's not a case of that. It's a case of that game's shit because they don't fucking improve it. They don't do anything. They don't learn from the mistakes, or they just flat out fucking refuse to improve and learn from the mistakes. And they don't put any ambition into it at all. Animations are consistently shit. The atmosphere is fucking non-existent now. This game's got more fucking atmosphere on Survivor than the DVD has. Because it's legit like an atmospheric experience when you're on Survivor, because of the ambience that's there and the subtle stuff that goes on. You have to play it. I can't really explain it because you have to play it yourself to get the feeling of it. There's an underlying charm to it on the Survivor side that's quite cool. Yeah, consistently bad animations, no atmosphere. Maps are getting brighter every fucking release. We're still waiting for map reworks, the swamp maps. Fuck knows when that's going to happen. You know, he said 2 years, 2 years ago, so it's not here, is it? Just, it is what it is at the end of the day. I heavily encourage you fellas, check out Identity 5. And honestly, it doesn't matter what you think of me. It doesn't matter what, you know, what side of the fence you're on with this, all that kind of stuff. I highly recommend it because you probably find yourself having quite a laugh with it. You know, whichever side you're on, because it is genuinely a really fun game. I've been enjoying it for the past week now, and I'm still not bored of it because it's just fun. And even take it from me, actually, as somebody who goes on about graphics and animations and all that kind of stuff based on what you're seeing. We'll address that as well because it might seem contradictory to some people. I'm able to see past that with this game because the game itself is actually fun. You know, which is obviously something that holds me back from, or something that makes me so aggressive towards Dead by Daylight as well, because the animations in that game are shit and the game is bad, you know. So if it's a case of it having decent gameplay and actually engaging, some of the killers in this game, fellas, is some of the most creative fucking shit I've seen in this decade in gaming, mate. You've got killers that can roll around as giant fucking wheels. You've got killers that can record survivors doing things and then reverse it in real time. You've got killers that can take pictures of survivors, traverse into the fucking picture realm and attack them in there. You've got killers that are literally tentacle monsters that can raise tentacles and play tentacle chess by hitting them at distances. You know, you've got opera singers that can turn into shadows and cling really quickly towards terrain and burst out of the terrain and try and get ranged hits, you know, all that kind of shit. You've got literally something for everybody here, and they're still adding it. I plugged a new killer for you as well, because I have just discovered, I have just seen what the new killer does in this game. The new killer's called the Qist, who plays basically a game of snooker or pool in the game, where you can launch yourself as a cue ball. You can turn yourself into an ornate lion-based kind of cue ball, and you can literally basically set checkpoints around the map, and you fire yourself like you're on a giant pool table, and you'll bounce. And I believe if you hit any survivors along that path, you injure them. All that kind of stuff, you know. So you can use it at loops. You can basically craft this pinball system where you can bounce yourself off walls and get your hits that way, you know. Similar to Blight, but obviously a little bit more aesthetically creative. But, you know, it is quite similar to Blight in that regard. But, yeah, it is what it is, fellas. You've got killers as well that are totally invisible to survivors, but you can spawn little followers and minions on the survivors so that they can actually attack. All that kind of stuff. Like, there's so much here and so much ambition. They're still actively developing it. They're still updating it. There's still new killers coming to the game. There's still new survivors, and there's still new events. All this kind of stuff. There's actually quite a large player base as well. I didn't think it had a big player base, this game, but apparently it does. But yeah, end of the plug there. But yeah, that'll be it. I just wanted to make that little video. But I'd like to, you know, obviously with YouTube promoting us at the moment and actually giving us a bit of a pedestal, I want to try and do my bit to just basically expand what I can onto people with the knowledge of 4v1s and all this kind of stuff, and bring new options in this very trying time, you know. Because I'm telling you, fellas, it's not funny. It really is not fucking funny. It's actually pretty fucking disgusting, to be honest, what's going on at the top of this genre these days. But nobody can see what slop looks like based on what I can see. You're just literally accepting it because it's at the top of the genre. Here's the next big license. Oh, it's another fucking recycled concept, you know. Springtrap, Dredge, Huntress Unknown. Zero ingenuity. Not zero, about 1% ingenuity, because he does have his door mechanic. That was new. That static fucking animation that just plays as you walk through the door, you know? It is what it is, fellas. I'm just, you know, it is what it is. I'm just fucking disappointed with the way this timeline went, man. I'm telling you, sometime in, like, it was like 2018. I'm not a tinfoil that kind of guy, but I'm convinced when Evolve, like, the ship started to sink, I went to sleep one night, and I woke up in a different timeline. Not the one I wanted to fucking be in. Because we had so much fucking promise with Evolve. We had such a fucking good future ahead of that game. It was the perfect fucking platform. The animations were peak, the atmosphere was there, the fucking lore was fucking phenomenal. I've never seen, well, obviously in this genre, nothing's ever excited me more than that lore to these days, mate, to this day. The creativity of the monster designs as well, the original 5 monsters, they were all unique. There was very little recycled content. Maps, even the maps were good. You got a real sense of the world, all that kind of stuff. There was elevation in the maps as well. They weren't just fucking squares of flat ground. There was literally, you know, places you could make plays on. You had hills you could jump off as certain monsters onto the hunters, all that kind of stuff. It was all there, verticality. On top of very well animated creatures and very lively and creative character design on the hunter side of things as well. because every hunter in that game had a very distinct personality. They were like lovable shitheads, which is what I always used to refer to. Some of them were scumbags, but based on the actual characters themselves, you couldn't not love them. Yeah. We fucking plummeted, fellas. We fucking fell so far, and I'm just trying to fucking salvage what is left, you know? Because you're just letting them get away with this shit constantly. Nobody jumps ship, though. They just wait for the next fucking wave. It's just over and fucking over again. Back-to-back failures at the top of this genre. But there it is. So, at this current point in time, fellas, you know, I'll say I am, but we'll see how it goes. I do think we're just going to be an Identity 5 player now, honestly, for the foreseeable future anyway. Until the miraculous fucking event happens where they might get their arse in gear with DVD. But as I say, at least for the duration of 2v8 anyway, I'm not playing the game anyway, because I'm not waiting like 20 minutes in a fucking 4v1 queue for a shit experience. It's just not happening. So it's probably not going to get better, the game, but we'll see if it does, you know. But I'm just hoping that some people might actually start jumping ship and looking at other things, because there are genuinely far better options, fellas. No. And you need to see this. You need to. I know you have a view of your favourite streamer and all this kind of stuff, and you always think, oh yeah, I'm going to do what my favourite streamer does, because that's what you do. You watch your favourite streamer and you think, yeah, he's a nice guy and all this kind of stuff, and I want to do what he's doing. I want to be as good as him, or all these kind of different viewpoints of it. But there comes a point, fellas, where toxic positivity, and that's obviously what I use to refer to a lot of the big streamers in DBD who just constantly glaze behaviour. They can do no wrong, all this kind of stuff. Nobody speaks out about it. They don't deliver it in a harsh way like I do. Obviously, they don't make any kind of effort to wake their viewer bases up to this. You need to ignore them, fellas. You need to see what is going on. You need to see the complete fucking downtrodden that's going on in this genre at the top, mate. Because it goes even for the fucking streamers themselves, because I have so much better in this genre, fellas. We had so much better in this genre. It was so much more higher quality. I'm fucking shaking again here now. It was so much better, fellas, if you was around for the times of Evolve. You'll know what I'm talking about. It was so much fucking better. The animations were there, the atmosphere was there, the quality overall was there. Now we're stuck with this shit. Mistake after mistake after mistake after fucking mistake. Recycled content after recycled content after fucking recycled content. Uninspired chapters. All the fucking survivor perks that come to the game now don't fucking do anything apart from the ones that actually do game-breaking functions. The same has been the same for Killer for years. Most of the fucking Killer perks that come to the game don't see any fucking play whatsoever. Look at Springtrap, you know. Haywire, Help Wanted, fucking useless. Phantom Fear's the only one that probably saw any kind of moderate amount of play. And even then, that's fucking aura reading for 2 seconds when a survivor looks in your position, looks in your direction. That's it. It is what it is at the end of the day, but there you go. It's another fucking rant video, fellas, because I'm just like, the top of the genre, the top of my favourite genre at the moment is absolute fucking dog shit. But obviously I can't influence the masses, you know. I can't show you what we could be having. I can't show you all what we had, you know, without there being a significant movement, and without there being some kind of mass realization that behaviour are actually taking the fucking piss out of you actively, and you're defending them for it. You know? Because that's exactly what the gym situation is. Not a joke, it's not fucking funny. It's them literally turning around and saying, oh, we've just made this mistake where we didn't actually playtest the content we're fucking charging you for. So here's a badge. That's alright, innit? It was received to wondrous applause once again. There you go. So the next time next time it's a slow day. Slow Sunday in the office. Should we play some DBD today, guys? Should we play test this game we're charging people for? Nah, fuck it. Just release it and then we'll give them a badge later. They'll be alright with that. It's not hyperbole, fellas. It is not hyperbole. That is exactly what you're saying to them and letting them do. But anyway, fellas, there it is. It's going to be another video for the fucking pile, innit? Because we'll just keep making them. We'll keep reporting all these shit situations that happen in between playing Identity 5, I suppose, because that's what we're going to be now, I think. We're going to be an Identity 5 player, mate, because the game is just more fun. I'm not being told by a rulebook either in that game to stop playing it, because I'm hurting the feelings of the survivors, or whatever the fucking grounds for the reason is. So, yeah. That's going to be that. Bit of a quickie one, that one, probably, but, you know, it is what it is. It's just a 2v8 situation. The server's crashed. Wesker is still fucking game-breakingly bugged. And syntax errors, basically, which denotes that the dev doesn't play the game. Again. You know, just like the letting bugs go through on the offering screen. That's fine, though. I look forward to the badge and the 5 million BP. See you on the next one.